Welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today we're analyzing Apple stock. Apple, looking at both the news and the charts for an in-depth look at where it's heading. Recent headlines suggest some bearish sentiment surrounding Apple, with Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway selling a significant portion of its Apple stake in the second quarter. However, despite this news, Apple's stock has shown relative stability, with UBS analysts raising their price target to $236 due to near-term revenue growth driven by the App Store. This bullish sentiment is likely fueled by the anticipation of the iPhone 16 launch event scheduled for September 9th. Analysts are predicting moderate iPhone sales gains over the next 2 years, as AI features are expected to be gradually rolled out. However, there are concerns about slowing consumer spending and sluggish smartphone demand, which could negatively impact Apple's overall sales. Now let's take a closer look at the Apple daily chart to see what the price action is telling us. Looking at the past few months, we can see that Apple has been in a relatively tight range, bouncing between support at around $170 and resistance around $190. This suggests a period of consolidation and uncertainty, making it difficult to determine a clear direction for the stock. However, a recent break above the $190 resistance level could be a bullish signal, indicating a potential breakout and further upward movement. Zooming in on the last few weeks, we see that Apple broke above $190 on August 20th, followed by a sharp surge to $207 on June 11th. A significant gain. The rally was likely driven by a combination of factors, including positive news about AI features in upcoming iPhone models, strong App Store revenue growth, and overall market optimism. However, the stock experienced a pullback in the following days, indicating profit-taking and a potential correction. The current price level is around $220, which sits below the peak of the recent rally, indicating a potential for further upward movement. The daily chart shows strong support at $190 and resistance at around $210, suggesting a range-bound environment with the potential to break out above $210. Let's shift our attention to the 1-hour chart and see if we can get a clearer picture of the short-term trend. The 1-hour chart reveals a slightly more volatile picture compared to the daily chart. We can see that Apple has been oscillating within a narrower range, with support around $218 and resistance around $222. The recent price action suggests a consolidation phase, with the stock bouncing between these levels. Looking back at the last few days, we notice a few things. On August 22nd, Apple tested the $222 resistance level, but failed to break through, indicating a potential rejection of higher prices. This was followed by a pullback to $218 support, suggesting a possible short-term reversal. The stock has since attempted to bounce back, but it's still struggling to break above the $222 resistance. This suggests that the short-term outlook for Apple is uncertain, with the potential for either a breakout or a further pullback. The 1-hour chart shows strong support at $218 and resistance at around $222, indicating a potential for short-term range trading opportunities. Finally, let's take a look at the 15-minute chart to gain some insight into the very short-term movements. The 15-minute chart offers a more granular view of AAPL's price action. This chart reveals a lot of price fluctuation, with the stock moving in both directions, indicating a highly volatile market environment. Focusing on the recent trading session, we see a lot of back and forth movement, with Apple testing both support and resistance levels. While the stock has shown a slight bias towards the downside in the last few hours, it's still too early to determine a clear short-term trend. The 15-minute chart shows a high degree of volatility, with support at around $218 and resistance around $222, indicating potential for day trading opportunities. However, it's important to note that this level of volatility can make it challenging to predict short-term movements. In conclusion, AAPL's price action is currently influenced by a mixture of bullish and bearish news and sentiments. The daily chart suggests a potential for a breakout above $210, with strong support at $190. However, the recent pullback from the $207 peak suggests a possible correction, indicating a potential for further downward movement. The 1-hour chart shows consolidation between $218 and $222, with a potential for short-term range trading opportunities. The 15-minute chart reveals a high degree of volatility, making it challenging to predict short-term movements, but presenting opportunities for day traders. Overall, AAPL's future direction remains uncertain. The upcoming iPhone 16 launch event is likely to be a significant catalyst for the stock, with the potential for either a bullish rally or a bearish sell-off. It's important to keep a close eye on the news and monitor the charts closely, particularly in the days leading up to the launch event. Remember, this analysis is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Always conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions.